Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I'd like to talk about Doctor Who, once again in response to a viewer who has himself sent me several video responses lately that I have really enjoyed getting and listening to. One was in response to my top 5 classic Doctor Who stories, and one was in response to my top 10 classic Doctor Who favorite companions. And so I got to hear some of his picks and choices for favorite stories, as well as favorite companions, and this is going out to you, TARDISesAreCool, as well as anyone who watches this video and wants to get in on the conversation. That's the thing I love about getting his responses and stuff like that, as well as comments from people who take the time to comment. We're really keeping a conversation going. We're talking about our mutual love for Doctor Who and its history. And the cool thing about TARDISesAreCool's latest video was that he actually added on a question at the end of it that I thought was just a really awesome question. So herein I'm going to be responding to that question. And that is essentially, if you can see the title above, you'll get the gist. But essentially, what is for you the saddest moment you've ever seen or experienced from the classic series of Doctor Who? And I think this is a great question, not least of which because it's one of the things most seldom equated with the classic series that I've seen as far as it being emotional. The modern series has tons of tearjerker moments from, at least for me, the departure of the Ninth Doctor, the departure following that of Rose, of the 10th Doctor. Not so much Amy and Rory in Angels Take Manhattan, but at the end of the God Complex, it really got me misty-eyed. And so those are modern series moments. Of course, the entire arc with Donna Noble. These are big-time emotional moments in the history of Doctor Who, but you don't hear much spoken about the classic series in that vein, and for me it boils down to two moments. One comes at the end of the story, The Green Death, the departure of Katie Manning's Jo Grant, and you could see how tense and how emotional those actors were, knowing that this was going to be their last time on screen together, and by them, of course, I mean Jon Pertwee and Katie Manning. They were the unit family. They were, the Brigadier, the Master, Jon Pertwee's third Doctor, and of course Jo Grant. And it was coming to a close, that era, in a sense. And I remember hearing Katie Manning actually somewhat breaking down in a commentary track many, many years later when it was on DVD release and everything. So she's still emotional about that because of how much connectivity she had to those people. And it broke my heart watching that. The only thing that could trump that, in a very similar vein, was actually the same answer TARDISesAreCool gave in his video after he asked the question, and that is the departure of Susan Foreman, the granddaughter of the Doctor himself, at the end of the Dalek invasion of Earth. There is no more a sad moment for me than that. I mean, that epic speech that Hartnell delivers, their entire relationship, I bought it from episode 1, that they were, familial relation, that they cared so much about each other. They would put worlds ahead of each other if need be. And, at that point, she was blossoming into a young woman. She had fallen in love. She had to leave. She had to move on, but she never would have. She saw her grandfather as someone she needed to be there for so much that she would forego her own happiness. And he finally got to the point where he realized that. And he locked her out of the TARDIS, and with this great departing speech, I will come back someday, and please assure for myself that my faith in you is not misplaced. And, those aren't the words he said, but I couldn't say them half as good as he did. But those moments, I mean, even today, I watch the DVDs time and time again, and I get teary-eyed. I mean, it is just phenomenal performance in a phenomenal show that has a phenomenal history. And so those are my answers to the question, and I'd love to hear from anyone else who would like to comment below or send a video response to this video, describing the saddest moments for you in Doctor Who history. I'll even expand it to modern series as well. You don't have to stick to classic. But yeah, let's keep the conversation going. I hope you're doing well. TARDISesAreCool. Thank you for your videos. And otherwise, that'll be it for me. So I'll catch you later. Peace.